what stories are we telling? Because our stories declare possibilities and reveal certain things. And I think that would begin a mindset of expectancy it would help us assume different things about each other, actually, and our leadership and our entrepreneurship and our possibility. That would be my first thought. Paula, what else would you add?
And Jo, even going back, you talk about women in the Bible, so I have a book coming out, You Don't Have to Carry It All, Ditch the Mom Guilt and Find a Better Way Forward. And it's a mainstream book. It's coming out in March, but one of the chapters, I really dove into this, the biblical perspective. What does God say about women and work? And some of those examples you just mentioned, including the Proverbs 31 woman who bought a field with her earnings. But it is the stories that we tell, the stories that we've heard, but even backing up to Genesis 1, where man and woman were created to co-labor together. And somehow we got to this point in society where the only job that the male has is to provide for his family, and the only job that the woman has is to nurture the kids. And you look at America over time, women used to describe themselves in America hundreds of years ago as resourceful and hardworking, and then in the 50s everything changed, and we've almost done men a disservice by saying, just bring home a check. That's all you're worth, right? And the bonds of obligation were really, really, like, they broke down right there, okay? Because men became distant from their children and their only value was perceived as a paycheck. But I think if you go back to Africa, Henry, you mentioned Africa and how your heart's really there. You look around and there's no choice between kids and career. They're having children. The women are contributing to the table, and they take a great amount of pride in what they're doing and what they're bringing home. But it's part of their societal structure. They have family, they have a community. The community looks out for the children. The community doesn't look at the children as a burden, as a valueless commodity. That, no, this is our greatest natural resource are these children. I have a responsibility to help make sure these kids grow up to be good humans. So the choice is never, you don't have to make a choice. And there's the structure, the societal structure, the policies, everything is set up to flourish. But I think before you even say, okay, what can we put in place? We have to establish the why. And this is where my journalist comes in. Who cares about the what? If we don't establish why it's important to have women at the table and mothers at the table, if we don't establish why it's important to support families, if we don't establish why it's important to support mothers in the workplace, who cares about the what? My whole thing is the true health of a nation is dictated by how it treats its families and mothers in the workplace. So many of the problems that we have as a society are in direct result of how we treat families here in America and how we devalue mothers in the workplace. And here's the thing, we make it more difficult to have children, we'll have fewer children. We have fewer children, we'll have a labor shortage. We have a labor shortage, we'll have economic crisis. Guess what? This just became all of our problems, right? Even if we're not going to support families and mothers in the workplace for moral reasons, we need to do it for financial reasons and economic reasons. It's our responsibility.